Hey guys, this is Ben here at thatcologneguy coming at you with not another fragrance review, but another episode, because in this episode I'm going to be taking on a subscriber-themed episode in which you guys wanted to know how I apply my fragrance. So without further ado, let's dive in. I'm going to offer you 4 different ways that people apply, that I know of, that people apply fragrance, and then I would like to end with, on the 4th one, offering the one that I prefer. So to start off with, I want you to think of the Home Alone scene, if you've seen the movie, when the boy puts on aftershave, claps, and then he puts it on his cheeks and screams. The first way would be kind of an ode to the 70s with Brut, with the bottle, right, the glass bottle with the little chain around it. Some people still prefer the splash-on bottles, so no sprayer. Some companies still actually put out splash-ons, and if you prefer that, you would probably put it into your palm, go like this, and then either put it on your neck with your hands, or you would take the bottle and apply it to each wrist. And of course, if you used to watch some of the other channels, remember Al? Remember Al here talking Street Sense. If you watch Street Sense, you'll know that he does not like it when people rub their wrist because it kills the molecules. So I don't know enough. You can help me there. I don't know enough if that's true. But a big kind of taboo is to actually rub the fragrance into your wrists. So you're supposed to douse like this, press the bottle, dip, have it on each wrist, but in theory, you don't rub the 2 wrists together. So the first method would be splash on into palms and also dabbing it onto each wrist. Okay, and then the second method would be one that I actually tried for a week. I had never heard of this, but it kind of worked. If you really want, whether it be with or without clothes, if you want a light fragrance, if you have a sensitive sniffer and you don't want a cloying fragrance, you want it to be very, very light on you. Most often, I think it's with people after they put their clothes on, but you actually spray. So I was going to do it for you. You spray it because you'll be able to see. You spray like this, and then you actually walk just right through the scent cloud. So it's very light, and I did it for a week a few years ago, and it kind of works. I thought it was more of a gimmick, but a fair amount of people seem to do this and use this approach. You know, maybe if your skin is ultra sensitive, you might, after you getting dressed, you might spray once and walk into it. I did do it. It was Lalique Pour Homme was the one I used, which is the one that people love to put on bed sheets. It's just a wonderful unisex fragrance. It's the one with the lion embossed on the bottle. Highly recommend that one, and it kind of worked. So again, if you are the type of person that would like something very, very light, not something that's going to be on your skin, maybe you get rashes and you find it cloying, this might work for you. That's method number 2. Method number 3 is, of course, after taking a shower, you dry off and you get dressed, and then you spray the bottle of fragrance with the sprayer, of course. You actually spray it. So method number 3 would be, you are dressed, you want the fragrance on your clothes because it will last longer. Now, one disadvantage with that, of course, is that it does not interact, the fragrance doesn't interact with your skin. Some people, which is one critique of designer fragrances, by the way, as opposed to niche in theory. In theory, a designer fragrance might not develop as much over time. It just smells good, which is why if you have a designer fragrance and you spray it on your clothes, I mean, it's not going to interact with your skin, but that's okay, because it's going to keep the same general fragrance or smell throughout the duration of that fragrance on that day. Does that make sense? So that would be something that you could consider, again, if you're not so interested in how it interacts with your skin, or in fact you don't want it on your skin, that you could spray it onto your clothes. That's method number 3. Now you have to watch out though, because some fragrances do have color in them, and if you wear a white shirt, for example, if it's a purple bottle, it's possible that the spray will be purple. Oftentimes people don't choose this approach, but hey, if you have sensitivities, you should consider that. Number 4, this is the method that I use. It's worked the best for me. Okay, after I shower, dry off, what I do is I actually, if you have skin that really, really eats up fragrance, then I would recommend here a couple of little shortcuts. And you can, of course, after you take a shower, dry off, you can just spray on your skin. But for some people, their skin just really eats up fragrance. So here's a little shortcut. I like these 2 brands, and I, of course, am sponsored by no one. All right, so Curel, and this is comforting lotion for dry, sensitive skin, fragrance-free. The most important thing is this is body lotion. This is fragrance-free because you want to use fragrant-free deodorant, and also body lotion because you want your fragrance to be picked up by the other people, not your deodorant or even your a strong body wash, something like that. You want to try to use fragrant-free because that way people will pick up exclusively onto your fragrance. So I started off using this, and you put the body lotion on in the general area, right? Well, all over, but I mean you put it generally on where you're going to spray, and then you spray onto your skin with the body over the body lotion, and that will get you another 2 to 4 hours extra of fragrance. And now, if your skin really, really eats up fragrance, which mine does, you can move on to, so that was Curel, and then this is Cetaphil, also fragrant-free. That's the most important thing. And this is moisturizing cream. So this is a body cream, and it kind of looks like yogurt. Of course, no smell. It's fragrant-free, and but it looks like yogurt as opposed to this, which is just a straight-on body lotion. So I started using this. I like them both though. But this, if you apply this, this will definitely get you up to 4 hours extra of fragrance. And a lot of people don't know that. So if you are the kind of person, if you don't get rashes, if you don't have any problems with, in fact, if you want your fragrances to interact with your skin, but they don't last a long time, this will help you immensely, because if you're getting around a 4-hour mark with nothing, you add this and you're looking at a full work shift with fragrance and compliments abound. So there you have it, a little shortcut that you might not have known about. Now, let's talk about where you apply fragrance. So it goes without saying that if you have something that's full-on beast mode, that you'd probably just go, 2 sprays. I mean, like if you look at Interlude Man by Amouage, the Blue Beast, or if you remember Yope, for those of you who remember the 80s fragrances, Yope, which is the pink bottle, looks like Joop, J-O-O-P with the exclamation point. If you remember Yope, you would know that 2 sprays is all you need for a day, and you would spray maybe 1 on each wrist or 1 on each side of the neck. Now, for the vast majority of fragrances, though, especially in the designer, if they're not beast mode, generally you would put them, of course, on the pulse points. So let's talk about where, and then I'll end with how many. So I usually put 1, I've already applied, so I'm not going to put any on now, but I usually put 1 on each side of the wrist, and so that's, or 1 on each wrist, excuse me, and then I put 1 on each side of the neck, and so that's 4 sprays, and then I will usually put 1 on the back of my neck, to leave a scent trail, because when you walk by people, you also want to leave a scent trail. So the back of the neck is important for those of you, those of us who have very short hair, and that's the 5th one. I don't usually spray onto my chest, just because I do like to spray onto my skin, not my clothes. And for that very reason, I spray on areas that are not going to have my shirt. So if I have a long sleeve shirt, I'll usually pull back the sleeves, and of course each side of the neck and the back of the neck. Now, so that would be 5 would be pretty much the standard, I think, for most frag heads. Now, if a couple other things though, if you would like to, instead of the back of the neck, one option that really works for people, especially people with non-thinning hair, is they can spray on their hair. So if you talk to the people with longer hair or very thick hair, they will actually spray perfume and just any fragrance into their hair. It did not work for me for, I think, rather obvious reasons. my scalp got irritated, and I just have thinning hair, folks. And so the writing is on the proverbial wall in that regard. And so I don't spray it into my hair, but a lot of people do. So if you can't spray in the back of your neck, but you want to leave a nice scent trail, then go ahead and try to see if that works for you to spray it into your hair. Now, another little shortcut too. I will do usually 5 for 3 seasons: winter, spring, and fall. And then in the summer, if I use aquatics and freshies, aquatics and freshies are typical for the summer, of course, and they're also known for not lasting very long or not having good projection. And one way to get around that actually works out really well is if you are in the summer, or you live in a very hot climate and where it's all year round. Another thing you can do too is that worked really well for me is put a little, especially if you put the body lotion or the moisturizing cream on the back of your knees. If you're wearing shorts or a dress, you can spray fragrance on the back of your knees, and that will also leave a very nice scent trail, and that worked out really well for me. So as far as where to apply, usually the sides of the neck, including right behind the ears, the wrist, the pulse points, of course, so the wrists. But then the not so obvious ones would be in the back of the neck, excuse me, and then I guess some people prefer on the chest. I think that would make more sense if you're wearing clothes personally. But and then finally, the not so obvious ones would be to try it in your hair to see if that works. And finally, the back of the knees, which worked brilliantly for me, and I often do that during the summer. So if we're looking at, now where I live, I'm in the U.S., so it's Fahrenheit, and I'm looking at anytime I'm over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, I will put a little body lotion or moisturizing cream on the back of my knees, spray that fragrance there as well, and that will definitely gain you another 3 to 4 hours of a scent trail. So it works brilliantly. Probably didn't know that. I hope you guys learned something new. I'm certainly not an expert, but I absolutely enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to hearing all of your comments, because I'm sure there are not just 4. I hope you have liked this approach, and I appreciate these subscriber-themed episodes. I've got 1 more left, and then I'll probably return to my 1 bottle per episode review style. I thank you so much. If you're viewing this, happy Friday. If you're viewing it on a day that's not Friday, always remember, here at That Cologne Guy, it's always Friday. I am going to update you guys in the next one on my channel. I have a lot of updates, all good news. Thank you very, very much for everything. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at thatcologneguy.